Alright, video number 2, talking about Chapter 11. So I think we have sort of discussed this entire semester so far when we talk about whether we like an article or didn't like an article and how it was written, and this chapter really concentrates on how it's written and making sure that the language that you are using is good, that the roadmap that you create for your literature review is good, that you tell them exactly what you're going to cover and maybe not what you're going to cover if there's things you're leaving out for certain reasons. You need to specify your point of view early so that the reader knows where you're going, and that the overarching point of view guides the interpretation and synthesis of the literature that you include in your paper. You need to make sure that you're organized. If you're using a whole bunch of different studies, kind of like how we talked about last week, you can't just toss them in there. You have to talk about how they're related and how they tie together. I remember we talked about the example with the arrow. You have to explain what the arrow means. So that's a big thing. Making sure that we use our headings and our subheadings if the review gets really lengthy, that we help transition when we are going from one point to another. If the topic goes over 2 different disciplines, we need to consider possibly separating so that we have 2 different ones, dividing it into different sections and trying just to mush them together, because in our head we think it goes together, but it talked about organizing our spreadsheet if you made one for your literature review and kind of spacing it out so that you know which article fits under which category, and then when you're writing the review you actually know, if you start writing about this article, that if it's currently under one subheading, that if on your spreadsheet it was under another, then maybe you need to move it so there's a better flow to your argument and better coherence within your essay.